Monday. Now, a lot of coaches around the NFL seen week 18 and they were like, I got to get prepared for playoff games. And some of the coaches were getting their trash bags and exit interviews ready. Some of them may be cleaning their office out. Funny story, when Jason Garrett got released from the Dallas Cowboys, he literally knew that he was going to get released. So every single day since the last game of the season, he took one pen or one pencil in a box to his car every single day. It's like, bro, just pack the office up, bro. It's over. 8-8,
Was
8-8, 8-8. That's how petty he is. But he went to the Giants and he became the offensive coordinator, and we all seen what he did there. Saquon's now with the Eagles. That's all I got to say. So, out of all the coaches that got fired yesterday, a few big names came up. One was Doug Peterson, and the other was Gerard Mayo. But a lot of people were more so questioning the Patriots because it's like, well, why would you release Gerard Mayo? I think he got a 4-13 record his first season, which was the worst for the Patriots, and he ended up what did they got the third pick in the draft,
fourth.
right? Fourth,
Yeah,
fourth pick in the draft. Okay, some say they should have traded up to get one of the quarterbacks, but again, things happen the way they do. But you're seeing this young team turn it around in that first season as far as like the grit and them trying to fight and actually try to win games. But again, it's called a successful way of tanking. So, Gerard Mayo, was it a good or bad move for the Patriots to fire him, Mark?
Um, I don't think it was a good move, but at the same time, you do want results. But again, he didn't have the time to even produce results. It wasn't his team. He inherited the team last season. And then the following season he got a quarterback, but he started the vet, and then once the vet came out and you put the rookie in, you seen glimpses and flashes of like, this team can actually be pretty good. I think he needed more time to put things in place. I'm not really a big fan of firing a coach after 1 or 2 seasons because you don't really, what would have happened if the Lions would have fired their coach? You know what I'm saying? So after the 3-13 season they had the first time. So I mean, like anybody. I mean, they even with bad teams. Washington he was bad for a long time. You give their coaches 4 or 5 years. And, like you got to give the coaches a chance. But I can understand if you was like with Antonio Pierce. You come in as an intern. They're not really sure if they want to hire you, but as of right now, you're like the best candidate. But next season we're gonna like I can understand that. But if you hired them, you left them intern, and then okay, so we're gonna rock with you. You got to give them a chance, and I don't think the Patriots gave Mayo a chance.
And we got another special guest backstage. I know he even want to talk about it, so we're gonna bring him up right quick. We got my man Dave from Dave's Doghouse, also one of the members or co-hosts of Refuse to Lose. Welcome to the panel, Dave.
What's up? What's up? Yeah, I definitely wanted to hop on. This is something I've been talking about since I heard about the firing. I don't like when first time head coaches get fired after one season. I don't care who it is. For me, the issue is why hire him last year when Mike Vrabel was available, when you could have hired him last year, and he is a former Patriot, just like Gerard Mayo is, and you could have given Mike Vrabel the job last year. Why fire Gerard Mayo this year, knowing you didn't put much around him to succeed? You didn't give him an offensive line to help out with his quarterback. He started the season with uh, a backup quarterback starting instead of Drake May, and then when Drake May came in, like I said, the offensive line was terrible. He don't really have any weapons to go through. The run game was really non-existent, and then the only person on defense that played well was Christian Gonzalez for real.
Mhm.
So you expected him to do what this season? That's
Shit,
my
man.
thing. You expected him to do what? You expected him to replace Bill Belichick after one season? That's not what you. What was the point of telling everyone that he was going to be the head coach for the future if you were just going to fire him after one season? You gave him false hope, and you pretty much put him in. And if he wasn't ready, then why give him the opportunity if he wasn't ready last year? Why not just go ahead and hire Mike Vrabel last year, someone who has experience? He's been to the playoffs before, and a lot of teams raved about. Why not just give him the job last year? Why fire him after one season? And I feel the same way about Antonio Pierce, who also got fired today. Even though he was an interim head coach, you didn't put much around him. He didn't really have a quarterback. You bounced back between Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew. And then the run game wasn't really there. Then Devontae Adams didn't have a good season. He was crying and everything. And then the defense wasn't really good. So that's just my thing. And I'm glad Mark brought up the thing about Dan Campbell. Think about all the coaches who came in after one season and had a terrible season in the first season. Kyle Shanahan had a terrible season the first year he was with San Francisco. But he's been in 2 Super Bowls since then. Hasn't won, but he's been in 2 Super Bowls since then. So now just imagine if you fired Kyle Shanahan after one season, then what would you have? You probably would – the seasons probably would have been bad all right after that. Think about Jimmy Johnson with the Cowboys. He didn't have a great season in the first year in the NFL, and he won and won Super Bowls. So my thing is you gave up on him too early, and if like you said, if you feel like he wasn't ready, then it was your stupidness to give him the opportunity when you had Mike Vrabel out there last year.
I agree with that. And one more coach that you definitely should have mentioned with that was Bill Belichick. He went 5-11 his first year with the Patriots. So
they traded the first. I think I was listening to the nightcap, and I think Shannon Sharp said they traded like a first round pick for that one though. So they wasn't doing that. You can trade a draft capital for Brad, so you ain't letting that go quick. But I agree. I think this time let's talk about it, right? So y'all know Mom's is a Lions fan. So I had to watch that first season with Dan Campbell at my mother's house every Sunday. And Teddy want to complain about Mayo's decisions in game. Woo. Dan Campbell on Thanksgiving called back-to-back timeouts. During the same play, he called a timeout, was granted. Go back on the field, about to run a play. Called another timeout. Cost his team 15-yard penalty for the Bears to beat them on Thanksgiving. That was Dan Campbell year one.
I remember that.
Those were terrible decisions, but they gave him the opportunity to push past that. It's his first time as a head coach. They gave him the opportunity to learn and grow, and now you have a 15-2 Detroit Lions. They're not. Why would you not at least give him a chance? You gave him a 4-year contract. You fire him after one. Like Dave said, the team's not that good. You got a whole bunch of guys at receiver who you don't know who are tested. Keyshawn Boutte had a bad last year at LSU. It was supposed to be a preseason All-American. I raved about the guy at LSU last year. Disappointed me. Javon Baker didn't do well this year. Kendrick Bourne, rarely heard from bro this year. Pop Douglas, none of it. I think their most consistent player as a receiver was Hunter Henry.
Don't forget they drafted Jalen Poker. He didn't do much this season either.
It's like you have a bunch of unproven guys at receiver. Then on the defensive end, Marcus Jones, I think he's out. Christian Barmore, I think, was out. So like Jabril Peppers missed a bunch of games, but he went to Michigan, so he don't matter. But jokes. But the point remains, like you're missing a lot of pieces, and you fire him after 1 year. I don't like it. And then if I'm a head coach now, and I see, because Teddy said it earlier, Robert Kraft promised Jarod Mayo the job, which I do remember hearing during the season with Belichick, mind you. Why would I take this job knowing that you out here promising other coaches my job behind my back? Why would I take this? Who's to say he didn't promise Mike Vrabel the job? I didn't think he'd be this bad. Hey, Mike Vrabel, the job yours at the end of the year. Why would I take this job? You giving under-the-table backstabbing deals to coaches to take my job? I'm not taking this if I'm a coach. I'm not. So
think about it this way: like you got the coaches that's coming up right now with like Aaron Glenn, Ben Johnson. Like the coaches that's coming up. Would you keep Jarod Mayo or Antonio Pierce when you can get potentially a Ben Johnson or Aaron Glenn?
I hear you, right? But those are coordinators who are unproven as head coaches. We don't know what they'll be like as head coaches. Yeah, what if you can hire them, right? But we've seen those coordinators get hired as coaches, i.e. Mike, that was
Mike
with Belichick for the OC. Josh McDaniels, my bad. Josh McDaniels. Josh McDaniels, the hot shot offensive genius, gets hired as a head coach, and he never pans out. So that can also be at play. So I just don't understand why these coaches aren't given the chance to grow and learn from these opportunities, especially as first-time head coaches. I don't think head coaching is the easiest thing to do, especially your first season on a bad team. Let them learn, let them grow. And if they don't get it done by like 2-3 years, okay, cool. Then you can fire him and find somebody else. But off of 1 year, come on, like I don't like that. Now the Doug Peterson firing, cool. They collapsed last year. They terrible this year. They didn't do much. The highest heights was the divisional round loss to the Chiefs when Mahomes got hurt. And then after that, it's just been downhill. Trevor Lawrence has been looking bad. They don't know what they want to do with Travis Etienne. They don't know if they want Travis Etienne to start or Tank Bigsby to start now. It's a lot of chaos in Jacksonville. Cool. You let him go. I'm cool with that. But Pierce and Jarod Mayo, it's like that is their first year. Pierce, I mean,
I guess he was in town.
I feel you, but like, then why would y'all not go and hire somebody?
Because
he was an interim coach before this season, and you could have hired somebody before this season, but you decided to go a year with him as head coach. Why not just hire him? Now, granted, you can say some of that could be on an AP. He should have been like, I'm not coaching without a deal. Cool. They were going to fire him anyway. I don't think the interim tag is just an out. They were going to fire him anyway. He went, 2-14, 2-15, 3-14, whatever. But, like, Gardner Minshew was in and out the lineup. Aiden O'Connell kept getting hurt. They were down to Desmond Ridder. Then they finally found a spark in the run game with Sincere McCormick. Shout out UTSA. That he gets hurt for the rest of the year. Amir Doolittle does well. But, like, they were just bruised and battered, too. You had the whole Devontae Adams situation where you don't know if he want to be here, if he do, if he don't want to be here.
I think that's why he got fired, though, Paul.
Chaos, huh?
I think that's why he got fired.
But that's not on him. That's on Devontae Adams.
Hold on. Let me wait, fellas. Let me. The reason why I say that is because I think him being the head coach was tied to Devontae Adams. Because remember that season before, Devontae Adams was like, man, I don't even think I want to be here. I think this was a bad idea because the GM got rid of Derek Carr and they was trying to find a quarterback. And the next thing you know, and then Pierce became the head coach and it was like it uplifted the morale.
Yeah,
and then it was like
videos, the environment so much.
And then the environment goes back to what it was. They were like, you know what? They probably said, let's just clean house. Let's just clean house with everything. We don't have Adams, none of it.
Even if that was the case, remember when Adams was there and they asked Antonio Pierce if Adams was going to be on the team, he pretty much told Devontae Adams that he's not going to be on the team anymore. So that relationship was different. It was more so because Max Crosby wanted Antonio Pierce to be there, not necessarily Devontae Adams. Max Crosby said that if Antonio Pierce is not the coach, then I'm gone. That's the reason why they hired Antonio Pierce. It wasn't because of Devontae Adams. It was because of Max Crosby, not Devontae.
Yeah, so, but all in all, it's just it's crazy. It's crazy, but you even look back to Steve Wilkes with the Cardinals. 1 year, boom, got him out of there. Went and got Cliff Kingsbury. I ain't gonna say it on here, but I'm gonna just leave it at it's crazy.
It's because it's black coaches. That's what it is. I'm gonna say it because of black coaches. If you all the coaches we named, they got fired in one season with black coaches. It's the same thing.
And I'm glad you brought up the Cardinals because I was going to talk about Gannon. Gannon went 4-13. They gave him another shot, and look at their record now. They 8-9, and they got something to build off of. So they gave him a second chance at it. So it's like, bruh, why would you? And I'm also like, don't give me a handshake deal knowing you wanted this guy that was already on the street. So what were you waiting for? I'm with Dave. We talked about this before. I'm with you on that one. Like, why would you just wait? It has so much Jerry Jones-esque smell to it that it's like, bruh, the Patriots, I didn't think the Patriots did things like this with their coaches. But then again, we seen what happened with Tom Brady, right? Yeah. So the Pierce one, I thought it was more so tied to Devontae Adams and how he uplifted the locker room when he came in as the interim head coach. So I was like, the Raiders just want to clean house. They like, all right, we don't have a wide receiver no more, so we're gonna get rid of the head coach as well. To find out that it was really Max Crosby, and knowing that they didn't want to trade Max Crosby all season when they technically could have traded him too and really started over, it makes zero sense to me. That really makes zero sense. They was trying to fire Doug Peterson last year. They was